Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to go over 5 dueling tips for newer players and veteran players alike in Battlefront 2. I'm going to go ahead and rapid fire the list here, and then I'm going to go into more depth of an explanation. Number 1 is going to be parrying. Number 2, be mindful of your force abilities. 3, be aware of your stamina. Number 4, know your enemy. And number 5, make sure to use your dash. Going into number 1, we're going to be talking about parrying. Now, parrying was a bug that was implemented into the game a couple of updates ago, and slowly over time more and more people have been decided to use parrying in saber combat, and so I feel like it's practically a little bit unfair for new players not to be aware of parrying. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and tell you how to do it. How you parry is you hold the block button and you wait for an enemy to strike at you with their saber, and while still holding the block button, you press your attack button, in doing so which will do a parry. Now, moving on to number 2, we're going to be talking about your force abilities and how you can use them differently than you may already use them typically. Now, when I say this, I'm talking about people don't know that you can actually use your force abilities on enemies who are in the air, and they cannot block this. Yes, that's right. If you get your enemy to jump at any point in time, you can actually use whichever force ability you can on them, regardless of the height. So as long as they're in the typical range of your force power, and you use that ability on them, regardless of height, you will be able to hit them. So if you cause an enemy to jump and you use a force choke, you'll be able to get them no matter what. Because to my knowledge, you can't block your force power while jumping. You are practically wide open to being attacked by force power. I'll show you on screen here an example of what I'm saying. But like I said, use your force powers on enemies who are jumping, and be mindful that you yourself may be subject to getting attacked while midair. So try to limit jumping when in duels, because this may be a life or death situation. The third tip for dueling that I can give is being aware of your stamina as well as the enemy's stamina, because when it comes to stamina, I think a lot of people overlook the importance of it. They mostly focus on the abilities and combining abilities with saber chains and strikes like that. But and I'm going to transition into my next point here with number 4, know your enemy. If your enemy uses a bunch of their abilities, like let's say an Anakin, he might pull dominance to you, use heroic might, and then use that saber strike that goes through a block. After that, he'll run away at that point. Or like in this clip right here, Vader is at like no stamina. You want to attack your enemy when they're at no stamina, because they can only block so many lightsaber attacks without them, taking damage. Eventually they're going to take damage. And, typically an enemy is not going to rely on their stamina unless they're out of all of their abilities. That's typically how it goes. So like I said, be aware of your stamina and the enemy's stamina. I try to make sure that my stamina is at least at half at all times. I try not to let it go beneath half. And the way I kind of maintain this is I might use an ability if I'm at half, or get some distance from my enemy, or I might stop for a little bit. Number 5 is going to be a pretty simple one for veteran players, but I think it's very important to touch on. In this lobby here, I had some new players, and I was kind of teaching them how to dash strike and get behind your enemy. So number 5 is going to be dashing. Dashing is important because it allows you to quickly move behind your enemy or around your enemy to confuse them. Like you might do 2 saber strikes and then dash through an enemy behind them in order to hit them in the back. Like I said, dashing lets you get around your enemy really quickly and allows you to strike them a lot quicker from different directions. And it confuses them, especially if they're newer and they're not familiar. Of course, they're going to be confused. How is this guy dashing? Well, now you know. So this was kind of like a rapid fire tips and tricks video. I know I could have gone more in depth with each of these things, but I just thought that if I rapidly told you about them and I provided a pretty good explanation, that it would be best suited to do it that way rather than spend 10 minutes talking about one subject just to get more views and more monetization or whatever, more ads. I just care about giving new players the tips and information they need to be good at the game, because I find it unfair that newer players go against veteran players who know about parrying, or they know about using a force ability while they're jumping, or stamina, or dashing even. It just seems like it's unfair that newer players don't really know a lot about this, and there's not really a tutorial in the game that tells you, hey, here's how you parry, here's how you dash, blah blah blah. You have the campaign, of course, but I just thought I'd make this video as a little tutorial for new duelists and for veteran duelists alike. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys learned anything new. Or if you guys have any other tips or tricks that I should mention or put in another video, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to do so as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. More Battlefront 2 videos are on the way. Got a lot of trolling videos, that kind of stuff. You know, people getting angry in the chat, that kind of stuff. I'm really excited about that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Do it. Do it. Do it. I am the Senate. Do it.